Hi, I'm Ruban Selvanayagam, co-director at Property Solvers and Property Solvers Auctions. In today's video, I'll be running through 10 practical and proven ways to help you get the best sale price at auction. We've sold all kinds of property since launching our auction service 5 years ago, from standard houses and flats to commercial and mixed-use assets. We've also worked with sellers disposing of quirky buildings and land, both with and without planning consent. One thing I can confidently say is that getting an excellent result at auction isn't just about listing your property and hoping for the best. It's about positioning, preparation, and knowing how to guide the process strategically. So whether you're a homeowner, landlord, developer, executor, or asset manager, this episode is for you. Let's dive straight in. Tip number 1, present the property well, declutter, tidy, and sell what you can. Whilst auction buyers often know that they'll have issues to deal with after purchasing the property, this doesn't mean that good presentation doesn't matter. Simple things like tidying up the entrance to create a bit of curb appeal, clearing the garden, dealing with scuffed walls, and cleaning all the rooms and communal areas can go a long way. Even with probate, dated buy-to-lets, or other properties that have seen better days, a bit of TLC can often translate into a more attractive auction proposition. If the property is full of clutter or unwanted furniture, think about using a local house clearance firm or even selling items on eBay, Facebook Marketplace, Gumtree, or at a car boot sale. Not only will the property feel more spacious, but you might make a few pounds in the process. Summing up, although you may be in a rush to sell, spending a few days getting the property in order can really make a notable difference in the price you'll ultimately achieve. Tip number 2, choose the right auction method, traditional versus modern. There are 2 main ways to sell at auction, and choosing the right method can have a big impact on the price you'll end up getting and certainty of sale. Traditional or unconditional auctions are where the moment the hammer falls, the buyer exchanges contracts. Completion usually then happens within 28 days. It's fast and legally binding, ideal for selling to serious buyers who will very rarely withdraw from the sale without significant financial repercussions. On the other hand, you've got the modern method or conditional auction, which effectively extends the period for the sale to conclude. At the fall of the hammer, the buyer does have to pay a reservation fee, but doesn't have to exchange for another 28 days. The buyer then has a further 28 days to complete, so 56 days in total. This opens up the market to mortgage buyers and a wider pool of prospective bidders, and therefore the chances of ultimately getting a higher price. But overall, it's not as secure as a 28-day auction sale. Here at Property Solvers, we offer both services and often describe the modern method as a cross between the traditional way of selling at auction and using an estate agency service. We'd be more than happy to have a chat about both options and which would work best for you based on your own circumstances and motivations. Tip number 3, set the right reserve and guide prices. The price you set at auction can either spark competition or scare off potential buyers. Your reserve price, i.e. the lowest you're willing to accept, needs to be rooted in market reality. Here, I would recommend looking at sold house prices, the more recent the better. To a lesser degree, check out properties marked as sold subject to contract and under offer on portals like Rightmove and Zoopla. We also have access to Rightmove Plus, which is Rightmove's back-end system, which has data going back to 1995, as well as Essential Information Group's historical data on auction sale prices, which can help us benchmark similar properties to yours and gauge what buyers are actually paying in today's market. Your guide price should grab attention and attract people to inquire, view the property, and then register to bid. The underlying aim is to create a competitive bidding environment where you have multiple parties collectively driving up the price. Now, whilst I always recommend taking the advice of the auctioneer, it's entirely your decision as to where to set the property's guide price. You may, for instance, go for a deliberately low or teaser price that draws in a bigger crowd of prospective buyers into the bidding process. For our own auction, for example, we were recently able to get an auction seller £55,000 over the reserve using this method. Much here will depend on the level of expected demand for the property, alongside a range of micro factors such as local supply and demand dynamics, price sensitivity of the buyer pool, guide to sold price ratios, recent performance of similar properties at auction, etc. Remember that the starting price is also an important factor when it comes to auctions, as this is what will trigger the initial stages of the bidding run. A good auctioneer will then know the techniques to get the momentum going. After all, it's in our best interest to get you the best result, as you are our client, not the buyer. At Property Solvers, we offer bespoke auction valuation reports for active sellers. These highlight some comparable land registry sales data, current buyer sentiment, detailed stats for local market sales, prices based on property type and tenure, amongst others. We'll add the link in the show notes, drop us a line, and we'd be more than happy to run one of these off for you. Tip number 4, use professional photography, visual media, and accurate descriptions. These days, the majority of buyers check out properties online before expressing interest. Therefore, crisp, well-lit photos, floor plans, and even drone footage or video walkthroughs will help your property stand out. particularly when it's a renovation project or has unique layout features. The goal is to build trust and reduce uncertainty. I'm consistently surprised at how badly some auction properties are marketed out there, and the seeming lack of understanding that the more transparent we are as an industry about the stock we're selling, the better results are for our clients. Tip number 5, choose a regulated auctioneer who will present the property in the best way. The auctioneer you choose can make or break the result. Start by ensuring they're regulated. Look for membership with the Property Ombudsman, NAE Property Mark, alongside trading standards compliance as a minimum. Indeed, it's important that your listing description is accurate and meets material information requirements. This includes key details like tenure, council tax, planning status, restriction, and any known defects. The auction house needs to be fully transparent about issues such as title problems, structural concerns, or if the property is of non-standard construction. At Property Solvers, we include a full SPRIFT report with every listing. This gives buyers access to essential data to make informed decisions from the outset without any ambiguity. Our own auction house also follows Common Auction Conditions, or CACs, laid out by the Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors. This is fairly standard amongst the UK's leading property auctioneers. It's also crucial that the right buyer checks are undertaken in order to be compliant with the various pieces of legislation that govern our sector. Remember to check how the auctioneer is positioning your property. If it's going to be in a catalogue and in the room, the earlier the better. They should highlight investment yields and other ROI-related metrics without exaggerating, and also know how to frame challenges as opportunities. In short, a great auctioneer doesn't gloss over problems. They tell the right story, tailor it to the right buyer type, and keep everything above board. Tip number 6, work with a marketing-savvy auctioneer who genuinely supports you. Unless you're lucky, it's not enough to list your property and expect for auction buyer inquiries and bidder registrations to come rolling in. A good auctioneer knows how to get your property in front of the right people and present it in a way that makes them take notice. This means not only advertising across their own website and standard portals like Rightmove and Zoopla, but also making sure the property appears on the likes of Essential Information Group's auction listings, as well as a range of lesser-known investor sites out there, which actually get a decent volume of traffic. The listing should also be well optimized for Google and increasingly on newer AI search tools to ensure excellent exposure. In addition to social media, WhatsApp groups, and a solid list of auction buyers we've profiled over the years, we also run the Property Auction News site and promote our auction properties on LinkedIn's largest UK property investor and developer group, which now has over 80,000 members. Overall, this means that we're able to market our clients' properties in the most effective and targeted way. When it comes to the actual marketing process, the auction window should create a sense of urgency, ideally 2 to 3 weeks of proactive marketing. Also, make sure the auctioneer is communicative. They should help chase solicitors and manage viewings and update you throughout the campaign, not just the day before the auction. Don't be afraid to ask your auctioneer for feedback. How many viewings, inquiries, legal pack downloads have there been, for example? Remember that adjusting midstream is often better than sticking to a plan that's not working. Tip number 7, show development or planning potential and consider title splitting. This tip is all about helping buyers see the long-term value, not just what's in front of them today. If there's scope for extension, conversion, or redevelopment, make sure it's explicitly shown in the auction listing. This includes sketches and renders of potential dwellings, loft conversions, extensions, or outbuildings. If you have pre-app outline planning documents, evidence of permitted development rights, be sure to forward these on to the auctioneer to include. And if you have garages, land, or multiple dwellings, consider breaking up the title and splitting this out into separate auction lots. In many cases, the combined value is greater when you sell the components individually. Tip number 8, get your legal pack ready and do it early. Serious buyers do serious due diligence, and if the legal pack isn't available within enough time, they'll likely move on. As a minimum, your solicitor should include the title documents and the completed TA6 property information and TA10 fixture and fittings forms, alongside the conveyancing searches, although many auction buyers these days will usually take out appropriate indemnity insurance policies, but worthwhile getting them if you can. In addition to this, tenancy agreements, planning documents, if relevant, should also be included, as well as the special conditions of sale. Remember that leasehold, commercial, and mixed-use sales will require extra documentation. Make sure your conveyancing solicitor includes clear clauses like who pays what costs, overage agreements, or specific terms that may affect the sale. Use solicitors who understand auction timescales. If they delay, you could lose hot buyers who just need 1 or 2 final answers before bidding. Tip number 9, make viewings easy and accessible. The easier it is to view, the more likely buyers are to show up and then bid on your property. Make sure the auctioneer operates in evenings and weekends. Indeed, many prospective buyers we deal with have work and other commitments, so a good deal of flexibility can really help things move along. We often request permission to install a key safe to run open mornings or afternoons, which is a great way to build a sense of competition earlier on, as buyers quickly realise that others are interested too. And this dynamic can really help set the tone for a stronger bidding on the auction day or period. In the run-up to the auction day or timeframe, respond to questions that your auctioneer may have quickly. Marketing campaigns are short, so every interaction matters. Even if it's just clarifying access rights, garden boundaries, or utility setup, fast answers keep serious buyers warm and ready to act. Tip number 10, be smart about pre- and post-auction offers and have a backup plan. If a strong pre-auction offer comes in, assess it carefully. Has there been enough exposure? Is the buyer ready to exchange under auction terms? Are they trying to bypass competition? Sometimes it's the right move to accept, especially as you can get the sales process underway sooner. Other times it's worth holding out and letting the auction run through, particularly if there's a lot of interest, which your auctioneer will be able to confirm with you. If your auction reserve isn't met on auction day, don't panic. Post-auction sales are fairly common these days. Many buyers wait and negotiate after the event. Your auctioneer should follow up quickly and push to convert that interest. And if the offers just don't stack up, most auctioneers will offer to run it again. You can then re-examine things, tweak what's needed, and relaunch stronger. If you're particularly time-pressed, you may want to consider a direct cash offer, which is one of the main services we offer here at Property Solvers. Provided we can view the legal pack, we can exchange contracts immediately and complete in as little as 7 days. So thanks for watching to the end. If you found this useful, we'd really appreciate if you could like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon below. And if you're thinking about selling at auction, get in touch with us and we can run off one of our free auction valuation reports. No pressure, no obligation, of course. See you in the next one.